Thanks for tuning in, guys. It's Isha Bay. We have a reaction video here. This is a podcast. These guys, this is why women lie about body counts. And you got the guys trying to explain what the deal is, and the ladies saying, hey, lying is best. I can do what I want. It won't affect it. Everything's the same. Let's get into it. All right.
Being a hoe.
No,
They
listen.
just don't know it. If they're not being honest with you about
If women do hold it down better than men when it comes to hiding their body count, it's because they feel like it lessens their value. And I'm gonna tell y'all women, men will marry an honest woman before a lying woman.
Absolutely.
And so when it comes to men and why we look at women with high body counts as less valuable is because, one, we think about it as how many people do I have to share this girl with? You know what I'm saying? Like, if this is gonna be my wife, how many people am I really have I shared this girl with too? So if she has 100 body counts, a man might not be like, yo, I don't want to have this girl who had 100 other men. You know what I'm saying?
He just speaking facts. This is most men, because basically that's the product, right? You marry her. This is the lady that's gonna have your kids. This is the woman that's gonna raise your kids, and you're going, hey, I'm gonna protect you and up into dying for you, and I'm gonna provide for you to the day that I die. That's what I want to do. And like, if a man found out that, hey, his lady said, hey, I've been with 15 people, and he's like, oh, okay. And then the night of the wedding, like just the night before the wedding, he finds out that she's been with 100 people. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th thoughts is what are going to go through his mind. Like, uh-oh, this may be a mistake because, I am getting something that everyone else got for free, right? I'm going to take care of this lady. Everyone else got this for free because they didn't have to pay with marriage. I want to lock this down and make it exclusive to me, but does it, this is how men think. Yeah, I'm going to invest all of this, and for what? And for who? What you have done is who you are. People say, what you'll do in the future. That's just potential. And women don't decide off of potential.
Everybody has different thresholds. Another thing is gonna be like, if she has a high body count, why is she either weak-minded in the decision-making skills, or is she just foolish? And that plays a long part with the person that you're dealing with. That's the same thing if I was a guy and I was selling drugs and I kept going back to jail. And you're like, well, why are you keep on making the same mistakes? Or are you just foolish? So like, we look at that the same way for women who are just opening their legs for whomever it is. Is it a double standard where a girl could just have sex and not care about a guy? Yeah, you know why it's a double standard? Because for majority, it's unrealistic. Majority of women are not just gonna have sex with a guy and forget about him tomorrow.
Good point. Okay, so another thing about this. So the double standard this, double standard that. Men and women are not identical. So women are held to standards, men are held to standards, and they're different reasons. They're different things. So it's about when a man is congratulated, it's about accomplishment, right? It's about accomplishment. It's about that you did something, right? Because most men in their lives, the average for men is seven ladies in their lives, their entire lives, 7. So if a guy comes in, and that's not for lack of trying, I'm gonna tell you. So, but if a man comes in, he's like, hey, I've been with XYZ amount of women, and they're attractive women, because they're not getting high fives for women who are unattractive, for whatever this group of guys thinks is attractive or unattractive. So he went out and he did that. Well, he has to convince ladies. He has to have resources. He has to have talent as far as talking to lady, or skill, or resources. He has to have something. He has to be able to convince women to give themselves to him, because he's doing the convincing. They're not doing the convincing, right? He had to accomplish something as a man, or have something to be able to work with that ladies want a part of. It's not normal for guys to be able to do that. This is an extraordinary man. These are things that he's done, things that most men cannot do. That's why he's getting props. Let's go over to even a decent looking lady. Any woman can come in and go, now, there are 10 guys on my Instagram. I'm going to link up with a guy every single day. If you're a 5+, done. You can do it. Period. It's not a hard thing. That's like, so if you go, oh, great, like, you see the way this lady looks on here? Very attractive woman. Does she need to get a high five for being able to sleep with 10 guys? That's like me going out. And then my guy's like, oh, whoa, what did you do, bro? What did you do? Oh, my God, what did you do? Man, check this out, man. You won't believe it. I walked out on the street, and I gave 10 different women $100 each. You gave them $100? Yeah, bro. And they took it? Yeah, bro, they took it. Oh, snap, this man right here. This the man right here. No. So a woman... As a woman, this is easy. It's about being able to achieve something. Any woman can sleep with a good amount of men. It's not the same for men. Any woman can sleep with a good amount of men. Only 10 to 20% of men are even sexually active with 90% of the women. That is 80% of men are not sexually active. So if an attractive woman sleeps with 10 guys, oh my God, she couldn't control herself. A man has to control himself, build himself up, put something into himself to get the skill or resources to be able to convince a woman to do that. A woman has to control herself and build herself up to keep herself away, to maintain that value. It's opposite. It's completely opposite. I would not get a high five. Hey, I took 10 women on dates and paid for them. Whoa. But if I took 10 women on dates and they paid for it, then I would get props.
I feel like it's not fair to call a girl foolish for believing what a man tells her and having sex.
Yeah.
And
we're human, just like you.
It's an over and over process. If you have sex with one time, 2 times, 3 times,
but if you're not dealing with the same person, so how do I know that this person's gonna be on the same shit that this person was on? Who am I supposed to believe, or am I not supposed to believe anyone?
But this is the man's side, though. If you have to think about that and you keep getting fooled, as a man, I don't want to deal with that, because when you walk out this door away from me, I don't know where your mind is going. You can get fooled with any fucking thing. If you keep getting fooled out their fucking pussy, they can take everything.
I agree. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, I have some guy friends that
100%. But you did you know this real quick? How it was a man's fault? It was the men's fault because they were lying. It was the men's fault. They were lying. What am I supposed to do? You know, they said they wanted, marriage, and we were in the back seat, and it was.
I know about my wholeness because it's the boys, and I can open up to them and they open up to me, and I know about the games that they play. But I think for me,
everyone knows about the whole phase now. Okay, continue.
I be playing the game back. You think I like you, but I really don't. I'm just trying to get and keep it moving. And that is different than, yes, I agree. You shouldn't believe everything a man says to you. You should get, in touch with the game.
She liked the previous premise, but I mean, she just proven the point. Either you just got bad decision making because you can't stay in a relationship if you wanted to. So now you got to rely on random men in the game to get you what you want. Why would I give my life for that? Go ahead.
But not every woman is like that. Some women just want to be open and sexual, and that's okay. It's their body. If you don't want to be with them, then don't. They'll be with someone else.
But then don't lie about it.
Some women actually enjoy their sexuality. They enjoy, having a good time just like men do. I'm not saying that that's okay. I'm not saying that that's my story. What I'm saying is some women actually like to go out, have a good time, and think, you know what, I'm in the moment, I'm feeling this the situation or this person or whatever, and they just might want to have sex. Why is it such a big deal? You know how you feel when you do it, so why is it such a big deal?
But it's not, Jada, it's the continual what.
Why is it such a big deal? Why can't we be men too? Well, okay, well, let's hold you to all of men's standards. No. Just the ones that benefit us. Okay. So I don't see why it's not okay Now, before it was the men were lying. Now, it's women's choice is their body, their right, which I 100% agree with. If you would like to be promiscuous, if you want to live your life and you want to go do that, go ahead. And no one can tell you what to do, but judge you they can, because that's their prerogative. They can judge you just like you judge men. This thing where you shouldn't judge a woman, it does kill me, because every woman judges if a man should be able to get in her bed or not. Every woman judges if this man is worth her time or not. To say that you can't judge a woman means that you should accept every single woman that comes into your bedroom. And if she says she wants to marry you, then you should say yes. Because you can't judge them. You can't judge which woman is right for you, right? You, as a man, you shouldn't judge women. So you shouldn't judge women's appearance. You shouldn't judge their personality. You shouldn't judge their history. You shouldn't judge anything about a woman. And my question, if men cannot judge anything about a woman, how can they choose a woman? Women should just choose us. We just stand up there against the wall, and she says, "How much? He's tall enough. He makes enough money. I'll take that one." Real quick. Okay, let's jump into this, and let's talk about this. Why is it not okay? Why is it not okay? It is okay. And honestly, men enjoy it. This whole sexual liberation thing is working out for the top 20% of men. Maybe the top 20% of men are living it. They're loving it. It's all good for them. Ladies, not so much. For one, this is a statistical fact. This is not my opinion. So if you want to argue with scientists and studies, you can go right ahead. You can run your own study with a couple thousand people. It is harder for a promiscuous woman to maintain a lifelong relationship. That means marriage. That means your prospects for marriage as a promiscuous woman decrease significantly, okay, with a good amount of partners. It decreases for men, but that it disproportionately affects women because of the psychology behind it, guys. So every man that you have sex with makes it less likely that you will be happy with your husband if you do get one. These are black women. We're talking to black women. We know only 25% of black women are actually ever going to get married in the first place. That number continues to go down. It continues to go down. So it's only, only 25% are ever going to get married. And promiscuity, every single one is taking down your percentage, your chance of being there. Let's actually just take an excerpt from a study. Okay, this is how promiscuity affects emotional health. This is a study. This is not my opinion. Okay, so I'm going to start here. They have a myth about men having many more sexual partners than women, and blah blah blah. Here's the important part. And the risk extend to your emotional health as well. The impact of these high risk behaviors, high risk. Promiscuity is high risk. Just keep that in mind. Okay? The impact of these high risk behaviors on one's emotional health includes making dangerous choices that lead to more and more risk. This cycle can lead to problems with self-contempt, ineffective relationships, which if you're promiscuous, that's self-evident, right? That's indicative of itself, because if you're having relations with a lot of people, that means that you're not able to stay in relationships. You're not able to make good decisions, just like the gentleman said, to get into relationships and to stay in them, all right? Because unless you've never been in a relationship and you've only had hookups, that means that you're just ineffective at relationships. By the time you're 22 years old and you're in and out of relationships and you've been active for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, well, that just means that you're ineffective at relationships, okay? This cycle can lead to problems with self-contempt, ineffective relationships, and even depression, notes Fitzgerald. With depression, the door swings both ways. Promiscuity may actually be a symptom of depression. And obviously, having multiple sexual partners makes it difficult to sustain a healthy relationship. Studies show that people in long-term, healthy relationships enjoy better health and greater longevity. Despite the emphasis that society puts on sexuality, the best emotional, physical, and sexual health can be found in long-term relationships. If you find yourself jumping from relationship to relationship, you should consider the price you could be paying in both sexual health and longevity. They're talking about longevity in life. Women who have more than 10 sexual partners, men as well, but this disproportionately, good Lord, disproportionately affects women. Women who have more than 10 sexual partners are at a greater risk for cancer. Now, the study didn't show that the two things are directly related, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sexual partners, boom, cancer. But it's the behavior of the person, okay? The actual behavior of that person is indicative, is instructive on the types of decisions that this person makes, which is what the guy is saying. You make bad decisions. Being promiscuous is a bad decision. And there are certain things that come along with making bad decisions, which are other bad decisions, which men want to stay away from. Okay? This is why. Why is it so bad? Why is it so bad? Because being promiscuous, you are literally burning through the clock. Women have a time limit on finding a good man. And for every year that you age, from starting right at 20, be like, oh, 20's too young, 20's too young, 20's too young. Let me tell you one thing, 35 is too old. You're never too young to find a person that you'll spend the rest of your life with and be happy. Some people find that in high school. Just think about this. This is the big thing for me, right? You ask. I wish that these guys would ask these ladies this. If there were, all those men that you slept with, all those the men, the different relationships that you were in, can each and every one of those men call you now and have sex? Can they? Can every man you've ever slept with call you right now and have sex with you? I'm going to guarantee the answer to that question is a resounding no. Why is it a no? A lot of those people you're not on good terms with, are you? A lot of those were bad breakups. A lot of those were angry. He was cheating, you were cheating. What does that mean? That means that you've been going through traumatic breakups, traumatic relationships, whirlwind romances. You are scarring yourself, and every single interaction with a new man, you are adding more onto the plate for the man that I want to marry this guy. I really like this guy. You're putting more on the plate for him and yourself to handle, more on your shoulders. I will say this. Studies show, this is not an opinion, this is a fact. Virgins have the most reportedly happy and successful relationships. Nobody's a virgin, I get that. But the closer you are to that, the more likely you are to be happy. That is not an opinion. Okay? So before you drag me in the comments and call me a dusty hood booger, drag the scientists, drag the studies, and drag other black women for being affected by this behavior, because I'm just a messenger.
We're talking
Continue,
about
like doing
it's
it
a
constantly.
continual process, as if either you don't know that they're gaming you, or if it's okay.
But what if you don't care about the game?
If it's truly okay, then why are we hiding it? That's all that I'm saying.
Yes.
If it's just truly, if we're gonna delve into it.
She argues every point, guys. What if the guys were lying and you believed it? What if they don't care about the game? There's like, well, what about every single possibility that could exist? And, oh, great, now you're up to 10%. The other 90% are still going to be dramatically unhealthy. Goldman Sachs, they released a report. They're wanting to let their investors know what they should invest in going forward in the future. And they're saying ladies' products, guys, especially makeup, things like that, because, unfortunately, 51% of women between the ages of 25 and 45 will have never been married by the age 20 by 2030, and that's going to impact black women more. The numbers are always greater on our side of the fence. Huge numbers. So that means that 25% that get married and that have relationships are going to shrink. This behavior, this is the standard, I would say. And the trend is going less marriage, more baby mamas, less stability in the household, worse future for the children. And hey, if you're arguing for doing as the trend goes, and like these ladies, I mean, look at them. They're gorgeous. They're trendy. They got the nice hairstyles. They got all the cool talking points, and they're going to all be part of that statistic. Do you want to go along with the trend? That's up to you.
If it's truly okay, you don't have to not tell your friends.
But men are hiding
it. Don't know. This is not what we're talking about. Okay. We're talking about body count and why women don't say. We already said men get off the hook because if we know Rico gets a lot of pussy, Rico walks out here, he's the motherfucking man. If you get a lot of dick, you walk out like, yo, this bitch is a hoe. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So boom. So no,
to men.
I'm not, when I speak on this thing.
To men. If you're marrying women who have the same opinion, kudos, good for you. But to men, and one more point, and I'll let this thing play for a little bit. I'll try to keep the commentary down a bit. But hey, the video is going to be down here, guys. So if you want to watch this with no commentary, you can click on that and watch it. Just some points that I just really wanted to interject because you know most guys don't know these numbers, the statistics, the studies. Guys just know, okay? It's in our DNA because it's a promiscuous woman is a bad bet for marriage. The percentages, the studies, the probability shows that if a woman is promiscuous versus not being promiscuous versus leaning towards the more virtuous side, that she is a less likely bet. And so a man can go along with that, and there definitely are men that will. But a lot of men are not going to want to play the lottery with their future. They're gonna go with their instinct, which is what these men are talking about. This was not trained into us. This is the world over, culture's over, centuries over. Same stuff, guys.
I'm not speaking on my personal views. I don't have no problem with whores, just so y'all know, okay?
But there you go.
I'm not biased. I'm not biased to whores or whatever we talking about that we want to classify them at. I'm cool with everybody, okay? So we're just talking about on the grand scheme of things and how men think. I have somebody, right? But when I didn't have somebody, this is how I would be looking at other women doing the same thing. Being that I've been in the music business for so long, I've seen all of these type of transitions of women dating other people's men and blah, and trying to hide the whole body count.
I don't think they're doing that as much anymore.
But you have to do it. I'm telling you, because as a man.
But you have people that are in the industry that literally hop from rapper to rapper to rapper, and they love it. It's like, oh, she gotta be that bitch because she gotta be because, and then they continue to do certain things for her. I'm not saying that for everyone, but I'm just trying to get a perspective.
It's a period of time. That's fun. That's like you just tricking on a hoe. I got a pretty hoe with me.
But they act like they're literally wifing them and buying them this,
they
like
on
Lamborghini
ecstasy, they doing drugs, we on liquor, it's euphoria, we at the beach, we having great fucking time, we fucking menaging. Yeah, I'm gonna act like I like you if you would have paid attention to when I was on last time.
To some of these people. I'm not gonna name drop, but of course, obviously, people are getting married.
I seen a couple of these hoes getting married. I seen them. I know their names too. They don't last. Okay. It's only 2 or 3 of them. It's 3,000 hoes out there, and 3.
Probability, not possibility, guys. Probability, not possibility. Well, they still, it's a couple of them getting married. Now you know, okay? So this is the problem, okay? There are still debutante balls, guys. There are still virtuous women. Men are going to choose that. And the successful men, that women that look like that they want, oh, yeah, they're going to, money doesn't matter when they still buying them this and this and that. That's big to you. That's small to them. I know a young lady who got her rent paid up and her car paid off. She lived life. She was living life. She on top of the world. And she was chilling and she's spending money. I'm like, wow, bro, you don't make that much money. Hey, real quick. Hey, real quick. How much money do you save a month? She tells me. All right. Oh, okay. Oh, so oh boy paid for it. Oh, okay. And wow, that's awesome. That's cool. Yeah. How? You know, when you not talking to him anymore, huh? So that ended. Okay. When such and such, when your lease is up and you gotta start paying rent again, it's gonna get pretty tight for you, huh? This was the reaction. No. Yeah, I guess. And that was the end of it. No long-term vision. It'll be fun. Who cares if they buy you a nice car or put you in a nice apartment for 3 years? Who cares? You're living out their money for 3 years. They wife you up. That's cool. But you better get a baby out of it. That's about it, because it's going to be over. Because they're going to move on to the next one. They're going to go home to their wife. But you will keep going to the next guy, to the next guy. Yeah, they keep going to the next one, until they age out. Hard truth, real reality, guys.
Is getting married, so you're talking about 0.001%.
But do you think it's okay for them?
They're not wifing them.
But do you think it's okay for them to
Catch
lie
that
about it?
laugh?
Because there's a lot of hoes that are getting married that they just don't know that
There's
they're
not
marrying a hoe.
No,
They just don't know it. If they're not being honest with you about their body count, then they're not being honest.
But that's our point.
Y'all talking about a lot of hoes and
whether you know or
whores.
not know, so it's
What is
important to
considered
hide
this
it.
hoe?
Yeah, what is a hoe?
Y'all keep saying hoes and whores.
You got a hot body. We're talking about body count. A body count is
So are
is
you guys
body.
considering these hoes and whores the girls with the high body counts? Because I can tell you right there, that's why they don't say shit.
Right.
Because why? Okay. So
Doesn't matter. Okay, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up right here because we're only about 6 minutes in, so it's only a third of the way in. But so go listen to the whole thing. But it doesn't matter if you're lying or not, unfortunately, because the behaviors, okay, and this is another big one. The attitude towards men changes. The attitude towards men changes. The women start to dislike themselves, and then they start to dislike the men. They start to dislike everyone, because when you don't like, love, or respect yourself, then how can you provide that to anyone else? This is another reason why the hookup culture has destroyed marriages and families. It's a big part of it, okay? And it's not so much, you can lie. They can lie all they want. Women can lie all they want. And men can believe them all they want, because there are a lot of guys that believe them. I used to be one of them. Oh, you're a virgin? Oh, I used to get clowned for it. But the relationship still end because of the behavior that history invites, instructs, causes. Cause and effect. Something happens, causes something else to happen. It has an effect. And being promiscuous has an effect on your experience with men, your perceived value of men and relationships and sex. Your interpersonal relationships become ineffective relationships. Remember that. This is why the marriage rates are crashing. Doesn't matter if you lie or not. It doesn't matter if you lie or not. You're going to have the behaviors that men are going to find repulsive, because you're going to be repulsed by the men. Okay, so I'm going to end it right there, guys. Go ahead, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. If I missed a point, something else, or you got videos that you want me to look at that we can go through together, I promise to get through more of the video next time. And we do new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys next time.